Circuit.com and the director of the Houston Comedy Film Festival. And we're joined today by Simone Edelmann and Brennan Bailey, and we are going to talk about their film, Pick Me. How you doing?
Great.
Doing good.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for asking. So I want to talk about your film, and I want to give the synopsis, but I'm one of those people that typically gives away too much of the storyline. So will one of you pick it up and explain to everyone what this film is about?
Bren, you want to?
Right.
Or I can?
You go.
All right. Well, pretty much the film is about kind of taking online dating, I guess you could say, as the backdrop, and kind of exploring the realities that we face with online dating, and kind of this whole judging images too quickly or playing with images to try and impersonate someone else, or give an impression that you're someone else. So it's a bit about this in a romantic comedy style short film.
All right. And what were both of your roles on this film? Brennan?
So I helped write it. Simone and I wrote it together. And then, of course, because it was kind of a starting project for the two of us, then was involved in a lot of the bits and bops to get the film actually made. Just doing whatever I was told to do. And
All right. And Simone, you directed. Did you sit through on post? Did you edit as well? What did you work on?
So I was writing it, did the location scouting. Me and Bren found the talent together, and we put our crew together. I also did the post. I did the post, not the color grading. That was our DOP who helped with that, but putting together the cuts and everything also. And that's
All right.
the many hats that I wore. We both wore.
I'm going to dig into the casting a little bit more because people are always curious about where you find your actors. Is it one of those things where you just knew people already, or did you do a formal casting call?
it was a bit of both.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah.
Brennan.
So I think initially we started out with quite a low budget because it was just the two of us kind of with this idea to make the film. And Simone's done a film previously. And so she kind of had some connections through maybe a film group you knew in Switzerland. And then otherwise, and initially we had the plan of just asking whoever to do the film because we thought we won't find anybody to do it for free, let's say. But then actually, Simone, you knew a platform and put it out kind of as a casting call, I think. And we got really great feedback from that.
Amazing videos. Yeah. Actually, it was the first guy who sent us his audition tape, blew us away. And he was like everything we envisioned. And then once we had him audition and want to be part of it, it just motivated us to continue looking for kind of more talent rather than just people that we knew. So to get real actors kind of, that was kind of happened. He inspired us kind of to take it to the next level on the acting.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I asked that because, there's people trying to break into the business, and sometimes it's perceived that a lot of these independent productions are just little circles of the same people doing, working together every time. So it's good to know that you reached outside of your circle to get new talent. So in the future, are you setting up another film? Are you writing something together? What is it you're working on?
Well, we've had discussions lately. We have a few ideas that Brennan and I bounce off each other, but our next step would be finding time and sitting it down and writing. But it's definitely something we want to do. We've done 2 films, short films together. One was almost a microfilm, but I think we work well together and we have fun doing it. And so I hope Brennan wants to write another one.
Yeah, no, I want to say as well, we learned, I think we do work well together. It was fun, the process of writing together and bouncing ideas and kind of thinking sometimes in the writing together, you think, oh, no, my idea is great. And then I would tell Simone and she would say, oh, let's also think about this aspect. And yeah. And also what I want to say is it would be a bit of a waste to lose all of this, that we've learned in the process, to not do something again. And I think it would be fun. So we're definitely brainstorming.
Okay. Well, when you look at Ispikmi and maybe the future of it, is this a standalone film, or is this something that may be involved in a greater series or overall concept for a feature film or something like that?
I think for us it was just a short film. We originally tried to start writing it as a 3-minute film, and then we were like, "That's not going to work."
Out of control.
I think the runtime's about 23 minutes, and I think it said everything it needed to say in those minutes. I don't see it being like a larger project. No.
I'm curious about where was this filmed? Brennan, where did you film this?
Yeah,
where was production?
So Simone and I both live in Switzerland, and so we filmed it in a town we were living together, Lucerne, Switzerland. Yeah, so that was kind of the backdrop, and I think it was kind of a special backdrop because it's beautiful there. Yeah.
It looks beautiful. The judges, the judges had a lot of compliments about your film, which congrats, being nominated for a Best Romantic Comedy Film Award, by the way.
Thank you.
And the judges had a lot of great compliments. They really loved the acting in the film. They loved that the transitions were really smooth. The film doesn't feel long and has great pacing to it. And cinematography and production, just overall, it was very complimentary across the board. And in our beginning stages, the judges don't actually see each other's notes. They judge things independently. And I wasn't seeing complaints. I wasn't seeing negatives. I saw a lot of positives about your film. So you're sitting here telling me that your second film, and it looks like you're pretty seasoned vets. So did you spend a lot of time in post? Like, how did the film get so good?
Well, I think we also had an amazing camera, the DOP guy, and he was also not in our crew. We found him also through a kind of platform where people put their talent, and he was a student, and we looked at some of his work. It was amazing, and he really brought that, the lighting and shots. So he was really great to work with. That's Thomas. If he ever listens, we would always be like, Thomas Film School, because we just learned so much from him. And then I think we learned in our first, in my first film anyway, how important sound is. So that was really important for us to get that right, and hire someone good in this department. And then, I guess just in post, very attention to detail. I don't know, but I think having a good crew, and then of course the beautiful locations that just helped it all.
Good. You're very humble. I can see the hard work in it. So I see you're very humble about it, and that's okay. Having a good eye for pacing and timing is sometimes a gift for people, and hopefully you keep that same attention to detail on your next projects as well. And I think that you'll be very successful with it for sure.
Thank you.
So, yeah, you're very welcome. So, is there any? There is an important question I wanted to ask, and I start with you, Brennan. What was your first step in the industry? And what I mean by that is, you meet people. Everyone, starts out with a good idea, but it's a whole different thing to prepare a screenplay or to create a film for someone else to look at and criticize or watch. Making content is a step. I run into people all the time. They'll ask me what I do. I say I'm a film festival director, and they say, "Oh, I have an idea for this television show," and they'll tell me all about it. And I'll say, "Did you write it down?" They say, "No." Right? So, what made you actually take the step of saying, "Okay, I want to create something"? I'll start with you, Brennan, then we'll go to you, Simone.
Sure. Yeah. I think for me it's easy. So it was quite organic. I love to write. I think I constantly have these ideas that I do write down. Most of them end up nowhere. And at the same time, I also love film. I love photography. And I had many years where I just watch films, kind of appreciate, critique, things like that. But actually, how to take something you write and make it into a film, this was for me a black box. And Simone and I were friends, and she wrote a film, put it all together, organized it. The one she did before we worked together, and I just saw how she brought it to life. And yeah, she set out to do it. And having seen the film after she did it, and kind of knowing, seeing a bit the process, I guess I realized, like, okay, it is doable. I mean, she made something amazing. And yeah, so then when we started kind of bouncing ideas off of each other to write something, it sat for a long time, actually. I mean, we had something written that sat for a while, and finally Simone said, okay, are we going to do it or are we not? And for me, it was kind of like, yeah, I knew that she had the skills to do something with it. And I would, like, also because we were friends, I thought it would be a lot of fun to work together. And so I think it was actually really her push. I mean, I think otherwise it probably would have just sat as a written script. But for me, there was a major learning also. I mean, so many major learnings, actually. But yeah, just also writing for screen is completely different than just like writing a story. Obviously, you have to be very descriptive and so many things. So that was also, I think, So I basically went from writer to being involved in the film through
All
Simone.
right.
Yeah.
What about you, Simone?
I think I got into like making movies was it's funny because my mom's from Egypt, and we spent like every summer in Egypt, and it would be like all my cousins in a house and there'd be nothing to do, so we would just like make movies together. That was like our summer fun for like 2 months. And then when I got older, like I still love making movies. I'd still see my family and we'd still make some. And then finally I went to this directing school in London for like 3 weeks. Just an intense course. And that kind of maybe gave me a bit the confidence to like know what's needed and the parts you need in order to go ahead and do it. And we made like some sample films there. Like some short films there. And then I think after that I had a story idea, and I just like needed to do it. I don't know. It was like a creative impulse, and I think I just had my daughter, and I was kind of bored. You're just like bored at home. You're like, all right, I'm going to get this together and I'm going to do it. And I, created like a meetup crew. Like it's like this platform. You just propose an idea and you get people in. And then Brennan was a close friend, and she just said she'd help me, and other close friends helped me. So the first project, just like, let's do it. We did it, and I learned so much. And then, I just continued. And then having like Brennan join the project, when you're doing it with a good friend that you love working with, it's just so encouraging. So, we just kept going, and I think it will continue to keep going, of course, because it just, it's like this motivation and this passion in a way that it's completely different to what I do in like my, daily other jobs. So it's
Sure.
super, yeah.
All right, good stuff. Well, I appreciate you being transparent about your answers. I know there's a lot of people curious about how to get into the business. And here they are looking at two people who've got an award-nominated film in a festival. So I sincerely appreciate your time today. Is there anything you wanted to add before we go?
Well, I would just like to say thank you to you and the film festival, like for selecting our film and watching it, and really, really appreciate it. And also like thank you to everyone who worked on it with us, all our friends, all the people who were involved, even people who like let us use their locations for free in Lucerne. It was just amazing. Like all the people who came together to let us do it, and for you to letting maybe more people watch it is great.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate the kind words. We're proud to screen it. Was there anything you wanted to say before you left there, Brennan?
Yeah, I'll just second that. Second Simone's thank you. And also just that if there is any hesitation, I mean, like in making a film, if it's something that you're considering, then it's just, like Simone said, finding the right group of people, and then it becomes fun and everyone's motivated, and it's actually just a fun project to complete. But no, thank you as well. I'm originally from Texas, so I'm very excited to have the film shown in Texas. And yeah, thanks a lot for the interview and for the judge. Thank you to the judges, and yeah, also thank you to everyone that helped for our film, because it wasn't just the two of us. Yeah.
All right, we appreciate that. Great job, and we'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.